Have you ever been on a team that was really high performing and fun? That's what we explored today, is what are the characteristics that make teams effective and high performing? And then what gets in the way of that? So we had a Thoughtfully Fit gym free workout. If you missed it, we would love to give you just a recap so that you can get a little essence of, well, we'll share with the research. You won't get the flavor of the conversation, which is where it really comes alive, which is why we love the gym. But we wanted to share with you the characteristics of high-performing teams.
And we share these characteristics because it can be helpful to have a common language with your team, or sometimes even just a starting point to start conversations. So often we hear from teams or individuals will say, I wish we had a stronger team. I wish we had better team dynamics. Well, what does that mean? So let's give you 5 characteristics that can help jumpstart that conversation. So here's the first one. The first one is connection. When a team has connection, you can see it through the trust. And this can look like team members who have that safety, that camaraderie where they can share things with each other, not feeling like things maybe are going to be used against them. And there's also an element of everybody understanding that we're not only connected to each other as team members, but we're connected to a larger purpose and a common vision. The next characteristic then is communication. And these are in no particular order, by the way. The next one then is communication, which is demonstrated by healthy conflict. And this one might sound a little counterintuitive, if you will. But teams that have a high degree of communication talk about the tough stuff just as much as they talk about the good stuff. And so when teams are communicating well, they are defining clear expectations. They have a clear idea of what everybody's roles and responsibilities are on the team. And they engage in that positive conflict. They aren't afraid to say that they disagree because it's not personal. It doesn't get toxic. It's in advancement of the team. More diverse voices are good for the team. And that's where communication comes into play.
And this is one that I think is counterintuitive because people think, well, if we have strong communication, we don't have conflict. And indeed, strong communication makes conflict feel easier, that you can disagree and you can have diverse opinions, and you can come up with a better outcome and decision because you have healthy conflict and dialogue.
Yeah, it takes work for a team to get there, but once they're there, it's a beautiful thing. The third one then is commitment, and this is demonstrated by accountability. So when we look at this idea of commitment, team members are committed to the decisions that are made, even if they maybe didn't agree with them in the first place, but they commit to that decision. And team members are also committed to each other, and what they say they're going to do is what they do. And so when things don't get done, or somebody misses a deadline, or expectations weren't quite met, people welcome the accountability on the team. It's not seen as a punitive issue as much as, hey, I was counting on you for this. There's a knowing that you might get called out on, again, not in a punitive way, but just if I let this go, people are going to notice. The next one then is collaboration. And this is demonstrated by that synergy where voices are all present and working together. There's a culture of positivity and appreciation, even when there's disagreement or brainstorming and looking at all those different ideas. The teams with the highest diversity typically have the conflict, but they also can leverage those differences and those differences of strengths to leverage them to move the company forward. If you had a team full of big picture people, yeah, there probably wouldn't be too much disagreement because everybody's going to be dreaming and thinking about the big picture. And it's possible nothing will get done. So that's why you need that diversity within the team. The final characteristic then is celebration. And this is demonstrated by results. What I thought was interesting in the workout, this was the characteristic that people seem to put on the back burner to focus on less, because, well, if we get to the results, okay, well, that's done. But what the research shows about teams is the teams that celebrate both the big results and those little milestones are more likely to see more results in the future. So those are the 5 characteristics. And the challenge for the people who attended the workout, and for you here as well, is to think about, of these 5, which do you value? And perhaps what do other members of your team value as well?
And that was what was fascinating, is there were some people who said, oh, communication completely. And somebody else said commitment. Somebody else said collaboration. So if you want to self-reflect for yourself, what's most important in your team, but then also ask your team and find out what's most important for them. And what would it look like if we had those characteristics on our team? Thank you so much for joining us. We have Thoughtfully Fit Gym free workouts a couple times every month. So if you missed this one, join us for the next one. We would love to see you there. Thanks so much, everybody. Take care.